spotlight on Las Vegas businesses tonight, Ms. Dawn Houlf, who, what's the name of your company again? I can never remember it.
Share Builders, Inc.
Share Builders, Inc. Real estate investor. And just bring that mic up. There you go. You got it. Who's really in tune to the real estate market here in Vegas. And Dawn and I met back in November or so when I joined one of the networking groups on behalf of Vegas Unwrapped Business Lunch and Learn team. We just did the video.
Okay,
that's right.
Great.
And Dawn was out of town when we did that, so that's why we have her here on our show.
Good job.
And I'll tell you what, she is I would dare say, probably the most knowledgeable person in the 16 years that I've been here, in terms of the real estate market and how to take advantage of it and make money at it, not just making a buy or sell her house. She'll actually, I don't mean to steal your thunder here, Dawn. I'm talking for you, but she'll tell you how to make money.
All right, Dawn, so let's start.
So thanks for coming.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
So, Dawn,
I can go now, right?
Yeah, right. No refunds. Dawn, tell us how you got started in this.
Absolutely.
How did this whole program evolve for you?
I bought my first property in 1986 before I turned 20 years old.
Wow, was that here in Vegas?
That was here in Vegas.
Oh.
I graduated high school and thought, I've always wanted to be a real estate investor. I never really wanted to be a realtor per se. I wanted to be an investor and make money because I knew instinctively that's where your money and your wealth is created, is through property.
Well, as John Mitchell in Gone with the Wind said to what's her name, it's all about the land. It's all Tara. It's all about the land.
You know, everybody needs to live somewhere, whether it's a house, a condo, an apartment. Everybody needs to live somewhere.
1986. Now that's a good 8 years before I came here.
Yeah.
And when I came here, the real estate market was booming. So how early did it really start to, get to the prices that took it all the way to 2005?
Yeah. Well, 2005 obviously is a fluke in any market. But it was quite interesting. I mean, we had 90% appreciation. And if you Google appreciation, the government started calculating and keeping track of appreciation in 1968. So realistically, if you think about it, real estate appreciates about 3.5% a year. Now, when you have an inflation of appreciation of 70% plus, we know we're going to have a downfall. And it came crashing down. Just imagine a balloon, and you put it up in the air, and once it goes up in the atmosphere, it must come down. And it came crashing hard.
Take us back though to 86. So you bought your first house, then what happened?
Well, if you remember back in 1986, interest rates were between 12 and 15%.
Right.
Okay. I bought my first place for $35,000. Okay, $35,000. Now you can buy that same place for $35,000 today.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's quite interesting. But today is a unique market that we're in today. And the reason I say that is because you don't typically see a market where we have low pricing and we have low interest rates simultaneously. I call it the perfect storm. You remember that movie with
Sure.
George Clooney, and it was based on a true story?
Yep.
Well, real estate today is in a perfect storm. Interest rates are between 3 and 5%. That's unheard of. We haven't seen that since, 1950s, And then all-time low pricing. I mean, I have a house right now for $55,000, okay? And if you can buy it at 3% interest or 5% interest, think about what your mortgage payment will be.
Not really very much.
$100? I mean, come on. Let's think about it.
Let me ask you this, because I'm hearing this from a number of different sources. People are still having trouble, though, buying available homes today, because when they put their bids in, they're being told that they've been outbid by cash investors.
Correct.
Now, that seems to be, something that's going to head us back in the direction of 2005.
That's exactly right. And that's what we're seeing right now. It's a false sense of security. And the reason is because of AB 284 that was passed in October of last year. What AB 284 is a bill that was passed stating that the banks cannot foreclose on properties until they get all their information, all their paperwork and everything ducks in a row. If you heard about the robo signings back in the heyday, people were just signing. Well, now the banks have to prove that they actually own the home or that particular property because of, the notes being bought and sold and what have you. So that's why we have a lack of inventory today. We have about a 35-day inventory right now. If you have a house for $80,000, chances are you'll have 15 offers on that house, and it'll probably go for 90. We're seeing an increase of anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 in houses.
It's so amazing. I bought a house in 1980, and it was $135,000. Unfortunately, because of circumstances that it was in 1983, early 83, I had to let it go.
Right.
Okay? 2 years later, that same house was on the market for $500,000.
Yep.
And got it. They
Yep.
got it.
That's the real estate game.
And now the house is selling for, evaluated, right?
Right.
At less than what I paid for it.
Exactly. And that's what the nature of the beast is with real estate. You can get in and make a lot of money, and then if you're at the edge and you get in and then it dips like a lot of people did in 07 and 08 and they lost everything, now they're rebuilding and starting from scratch again. And a lot of people over leveraged.
I heard that the condo buyers were the ones that were hurt the most. Because they really got hammered. I mean, they bought condos for 160, 170,000, which are now down to 20, 28.
Some, yes. Now it depends on the condo and where it's located. If you're talking Summerlin, condos are keeping status quo in regards to pricing. They keep their price structure up there. Or you're talking Sun City or Anthem, they keep their prices pretty steady. But if you're looking at near UNLV, when you're bought, I had a property, it was over off of Bonanza and Martin Luther King area. Not a bad area, not a great area, but not bad. Those were going for $125,000 in the day, and you're picking it up for $15,000 today.
Wow.
I have a question here in the chat room from our friend Frankie, who's out in Tampa. His question is, in your opinion, is it wise to buy a foreclosure and try to rent it out? Read on MSNBC that homeowners end up paying more now before the recession. Low pricing, low interest rates, but what about property values with all the foreclosures in each of the markets?
Great question. Foreclosures is a great way to purchase property at this point. You can get still a really good screaming deal. If you have to finance that property, you definitely want to go a 15 or a 30-year fixed. You do not want to do an ARM, and you don't want to do any other crazy type of financing. You want to just do a straight 15 or 30-year. Keep it very standard. You definitely want to check the rental comps in the area. You want to make sure your taxes, your HOA, your miscellaneous expense, vacancy, and all that. You want to take that into consideration about your cash flow. And if you have any questions, you can call me later.
What's your phone number for people to call you in the meantime?
702-236-6266.
You have a website?
www.sharebuilders, that's BUILDERS, Inc.com.
Now, another reason why people got destroyed in the real estate market is they got a mortgage that they had low payments for the first 3 years, and then the next thing they knew, they had a payment of 4 times the amount of what they were paying.
Because they were
balloon, right?
Well, it's either a balloon or they structured it as an ARM. Back here in the heyday, people were making $40,000, $50,000 a year and buying a $350,000 or $500,000 house. I'm sorry, it doesn't pencil out. They're going to lose that home. But the yahoos in Washington and the bankers got greedy and changed the banking structure and the qualifications, and they thought...
No wonder I got a mortgage.
Well,
No,
and
I'm serious.
They feel that everybody in America should be able to own a home. I'm sorry. It takes responsibility to own property, and it takes money to own property, and if you don't plan ahead, you're going to lose it.
Makes sense.
Well, it does, especially for people that do not know how to manage money. And that's probably, I'd say that's probably one of the biggest causes as to why people lost their homes. They couldn't manage their money.
True. And so my consulting and what I do is I help people, learn how to invest in real estate the right way and take them through a checklist. And, you know, real estate investing is puzzle pieces. You know, you can go to those guru type of people and, you know, pay X amount of dollars and go to free stuff and then they upsell you at the end. I don't believe in that. I believe in giving you the information in a time-sensitive manner, in order. So I give you a homework assignment for, you know, 2 things to do in 2 weeks, and you do it methodically so you understand what you're doing and how you're doing it. So when you do the next property, you're going to understand what you did and you're not going to need me. You know, that saying is that you teach a man to fish and he eats for life rather than you give him a fish, kind of a thing. So that's what I do. And I've been a business owner for 16 years now, multiple businesses. I just sold my last one for $5 million and had upwards of 80 employees and 65 trucks on the road. I know how to operate business and doing budgets and things of that nature, so I can help them set up all those systems in place, whether you want to have a business or a real estate. It's basically the same thing. Real estate is not a hobby, it's a business, and you're there to make money, bottom line.
On that note, we're going to step aside for our quick time out here at the bottom of the hour. You're listening to Don Houlf, Real Estate Guru, the heck with
You
the title
bet.
of our company,
You
Real Estate
bet.
Guru, here on Vegas and Rep with Phillips and Cash. Don't go anywhere. More questions coming in the chat room. We'll be right back.
Was that okay?
Are you